continue today with our class Kosher Kitchen, and we start with Sefer Chofetz Chaim, and new subject that we started last time was Toilet's personal information. So we were speaking about disclosing secrets. Now it's a little, same idea. Now, but it's very specific. Lawyers and therapists, right? The commandment do not stand aside while your fellow blood is being shed in Vayikra 19:16 presents a major dilemma for professionals whose effectiveness, reputation, and livelihood rest on a confidence placed in him by his clientele. So, as we can understand, often client will reveal to his lawyer or therapist information that is being withheld from someone unjustly. Whenever possible, the therapist must convince his client that he has a moral obligation to divulge such information to the proper party. Where appropriate, the client should be made to understand that despite of the consequences, he will experience sense of relief after having revealed the information. Moreover, by being honest and open in his personal life, one is able to develop the more positive self-image. Should the client persist in refusal to divulge such information, the proper party, the lawyer or the therapist, may be faced with a painful choice of either allowing destructive relationship to materialize or possibly jeopardize his livelihood and reputation. Consultation with a competent halachic authority is a must in such situation. This would also apply to the physician who is aware that a chronically ill patient is seeking to marry. When bringing such a matter before the halachic authority, one should not mention the names of the patients involved unless it's absolutely necessary. So that's a very interesting piece. So let's try to understand. So from the beginning, lawyers and therapists, meaning that people would tell them the secrets that they want to keep, and as we understand, because of the secrets, because of the information, somebody might be suffering. Okay. So again, the commandment: do not stand aside when your fellow blood is being shed. So meaning what? That when we can help somebody, another Jew is suffering, so you have to help him. Right, so now this lawyer or this therapist know the information, and they should keep quiet. I think they in America, I think maybe in other countries, if the lawyer will disclose the information, they can lose the license. I think not allowed. So it's not so simple. So okay. So this presents a major dilemma for the professional whose effectiveness, right, meaning effectiveness, meaning to keep everything in secret. Reputation, right, meaning that he's reliable, and livelihood, meaning that people, if he's going to lose license, nobody will to come to him. Rest on a confidence place in him by this clientele, right? Why? Because he's reliable to keep the secrets, which is and be always on a side of the client. Okay. Place in clientele. Often the client will reveal to his lawyer or therapist information that is being withheld from someone unjustly. Whenever possible, the therapist must convince his client. All right, apologize. Sorry. Clientele with often the client will reveal the lawyer or therapist information that is being withheld from someone unjustly, meaning maybe from his spouse, maybe from somebody that I don't know, a therapist that he is cheating on his on his wife, right? And therapist cannot say, right? That's terrible. But my personal understanding that people before going to this profession, they had to consider all of these things. We should go to a rabbi and ask them, should I go in this field or not? I mean, the lawyer could be a real estate lawyer or something. I don't know, even real estate lawyer, I don't know. if he knows some defects that the client is trying to hide, and he's playing along. I don't know. I don't know what would be the safest type of lawyer. Maybe patent lawyer. I don't know. So it's not so simple for sure. So again, whenever possible, a therapist must convince his client that he has a moral obligation to divulge such information in proper price. So that's our approach, and we said also in a case of co-workers. So it's better to talk to them, right? And in this case, and say, look, it would be better for you if you tell them by yourself. Otherwise, they're going to find out somehow. Where appropriate, the client should be made to understand that despite the consequences, right, he will experience the sense of relief after having revealed the information, right? So that's also like the person understands, he's worried, so we're trying to tell him, look, you're going to feel better. So that if he's trusting this lawyer or this therapist, so that's what they should do. Right, and lawyer can even offer like some partial refund, I guess, right? Money always work, right? So I think, right, money, like say, I'm with you, try to help the person. Moreover, by being honest and open in his personal life, one is able to develop a more positive self-image, right? So I mean, there's people who cheat on their wife, on their customers, I don't know, in job, everybody, they're miserable people, right? Because they cannot have a peace of mind. They think everybody's after them, and maybe everybody's after them, right? So should the client persist in refusal to divulge such information to proper party, a lawyer or a therapist may be faced with a painful choice, either to allow destruction relation to materialize, right? I'm not sure if he can refuse the case. He can be in big trouble. I don't know. I mean, of course, you can refuse, like not in direct way, but like, right, materialize, or possibly jeopardize his livelihood and reputation, right? So the guy would say, like, why would I do that because of his wife? Right, basically because he's cheating on his wife. He's not. She's most probably not the best wife according to him. So a person is going to convince himself that maybe I like, why should my holy family is going to suffer just to have to say, like, to get the information to his wife. Who needs that, right? I mean, to go into this field, to be a therapist or to be this lawyer. It's terrible. Okay, consultation with a competent halachic authority is a must in such situation, right? Meaning, don't make any decision because this lawyer, this therapist, he's biased 100%, right? He's biased, so he has to do something else, right? I mean, something else meaning to consult with some third party. This would also apply to a physician who is aware of the chronically ill patient is seeking to marry. So I'm not sure. Maybe he came to visit visit the doctor and say, yeah, I'm getting married. But he said, yeah, but did you tell her that you have this and this that we discussed? That right? He said, no, I'm not. She does not need to know, right? So what is the obligated of that? So he has to like look around, like try to find. Of course, he has the address of this person on file, and I mean, like, follow up. It's like big deal to find whom he's trying to marry. Okay. When bring such a matter before halachic authorities, one should not mention the names of the parties involved unless it is absolutely necessary. Most of the time, I would assume it's not necessary to know. Well, like, who cares what the names are? Okay. Just not here. All right. So before we continue, let's see if we have any questions. Okay. So one question. Of clientele, if clientele is not Jewish, but the information is withheld from a Jews unjustly, do we have the obligation to persuade the clientele How about the reverse situation? So again, this case the client is not Jewish, so client is not Jewish, but information is held from the Jews and justice. So right, so let's say there are two partners, to somebody, and Jew is suffering, right? So this situation do not stand idly. When your brother's blood is being spilled, is actually exactly the situation. That doesn't matter who is hurting this person, be it a Jew or non-Jew, right? So he has to try to protect. Do we have to? Do we have the obligation to pursue the client? Yeah, absolutely, 100%. So as we said, if his client is non-Jew, but he's hurting a Jew, okay. How about the reverse situation, meaning that a Jew is hurting non-Jew? I mean, technically, he's not obligated 100% according to that Halachah, because this non-Jew is not his fellow. He's not from his nation. On one hand, on the other hand, it could be big hill HaShem. So I don't know. It's very hard. It's very hard situation. I would not advise anybody to go into this field, because it's only a matter of time when they're going to be tested, and I think it's so sooner or later. Right, as I said, even if he's a real estate lawyer, right, or business lawyer, and this guy is saying, we cook the books, we change some data, this and that, so hopefully they're not going to find out, put in this clause and that language, because I don't want they come back to me, this and that, because the lawyer understands, forget about criminal lawyer, forget about this the therapist. So the lawyer that represents this client, he understands that the guy is lying. So I would say I'm not sure. That's a tough call. Okay. Okay. So next question, Kodorov. Can a Jew be a lawyer? Since the only true law is Torah, isn't it considered a type of heresy? Okay, so a Jew is not allowed to be a judge to decide the law. That's for sure. But technically, it can be a Jew can be a lawyer just to present a case. So when he presents the case on one side, he's not breaking any Torah law. He's not decided the law. So if he's not going to get involved in this with this kind of crooks, I mean, maybe there is a way. I don't know. I mean, maybe there is a way. When I say maybe there is a way, then he can refuse. But it's hard. I would say don't do it, because it's for sure. It's only a matter of time when the person is going to fail, and guess what? When he's going to fail for the first time, he's going to convince that he's innocent and that party deserve it and this and that, and his family needs to eat, and those are crooks and those are crooks. Who cares, right? So terrible. All right. So let's continue. Okay, so we continue. We're starting today new chapter 13, lucky chapter, and the prohibition of Gevinas Akum. So we're going to see what is Gevinas Akum in a second. And it says, prohibition of Gevinas Akum, cheese produced by a non-Jew. Okay. Reason for prohibition. Why issue of basar v'chalav does not apply, right? Because they do it in the stomach of an animal, right? The degree of supervision required. The cheese produced nowadays, cottage cheese. Okay. So now it's all of the topics that we're going to cover. Now it's some questions. Why cheese not included in prohibition of halav vacuum? Okay, so I mean we explained before that this milk from the another animals are not going to congeal. Okay, why is given as Akum prohibited? Okay, so meaning first question is why is it separate prohibition basically? Next question, why is it that the many who are not scrupulous in drinking only Halaf Israel milk will eat cheese even though it was not produced by Halaf Israel milk, from Halaf Israel milk? Does the Gevinas Akum prohibition include cottage cheese or cream cheese? Okay, so let's see. So I saw only a few times that that they were selling cheese that was halaf stam, right? So it was not halaf Israel cheese. I mean, I don't know. Like on a cheese, it said that the milk that they use. I mean, I'm talking about kosher cheese, from not halaf Israel cheese. And it was a kosher stamp. It's actually from reliable Kosher. Okay, so it's a K in a circle. Okay, I think it's Chabadniks. I think maybe not. I don't remember. Or star K Chabadniks. I don't know. Okay, so it says in part number 1, introductions, the reason for the prohibition, and it says. We noted in the previous chapter that one cannot produce butter from the milk of the non-kosher animal, since the non-kosher animal not curdle and thicken. Okay, when churned. Okay, so that's good. So technically, we said in some areas they actually allowed the butter from non-Jews, but in others they were trying to be strict. Okay, no problem. Therefore, the Chazal established the prohibition of halaf akum. Or halaf akum. I'm sorry. Therefore, when Chazal established the prohibition of halaf akum, they excluded butter from the prohibition. So again, because it's possible to add milk of the non-kosher animals to the cow milk, and you would not know, right? But it is not possible to add milk of non-kosher animals to the butter and it be undiscernible. As it says, the drops it would be like inside of the butter, so it would be very like cheap style, cheap quality. So of course they don't want to ruin the quality of the butter. Okay, a non-Jew who wishes to produce butter would not add milk from a non-kosher animals into the milk to be used for butter. The non-kosher milk will not blend well, and the butter will be the inferior quality. Okay, so I mean we said it last time, but okay, right? So non-Jew is not going to do it because it's detrimental even for non-Jews. They're not going to buy. So they want like solid butter, like without any holes inside, without any drops or something like foreign liquid inside. Okay, for this very same reason, a non-Jew who wishes to produce cheese will not add non-kosher milk will not add to it non-kosher milk. Okay, so similar idea with the cheese, but there is a problem. One of the problems we can understand is the stomach of the animal. Therefore, cheese never included in prohibition of halaf akum. So since they're not going to add this non-kosher cheese into non-kosher milk into production of the cheese, so our sages moved it to a separate category. Okay, so let's see. There is a commentary. There is minority opinion of Rabbi Hanina in Talmud Avodah Zarah 35a, who maintains that according to Rashi's interpretation, that we are concerned that the droplets of milk may remain unnoticed in the crevices of cheese. Thus, the non-Jew could theoretically add non-kosher milk to be used for cheese. In this manner, cheese differ from butter. right? Because there is it's possible that it's not so thick. Like I don't know, there are some holes in there. Butter has no crevices in which milk can remain unnoticed. Okay, but in cheese, maybe I'm just speculating. Maybe today they have a higher quality cheese, so would not have this. If you have cheese with crevices, it's a Swiss cheese or something. Right? Swiss cheese, it's a different story. Right? It's much more expensive, and it takes 6 months to make it. I mean, that's a different story. Or this Parmesan. Parmesan also, it's a very, very hard cheese. Okay. All right. So that's why the prohibition of of making cheese was not included in Halaf Akum. Okay. So that's good. So I mean, but as we understand, there is different limitations. Nonetheless, Chazal prohibited cheese produced by a non-Jew. The Talmud offers many reasons for the prohibition of Gevinas Akum, right? This cheese of non-Jew. Okay. According to most Rishonim, the main reason is because the cheese is usually produced by adding rennet into milk. So rennet, as I understand, is this piece from a stomach, right? Rennet. Since the rennet is obtained from the lining of the cow's stomach, here we go. Non-Jewish rennet is produced from a cow that did not have shchita and is prohibited. So initially, and knowingly, we cannot mix the non-kosher food with the kosher food. Understand? So all these cases that we discussed before, 60-1, all this meat was mixed with meat. It was only after the fact. All of them after the fact. We did not plan it, but initially to plan it just because it's going to be nullified, it's never nullified. Right, so this rennet, so something from the lining of the cow. I think they say calf, but here it says cow. Okay, I don't know. Okay, so the meaning what that this piece from the stomach is not kosher as it is, right? Because this cow did not have shchita. Okay, that's milk. So again, the whole sentence. Since the rennet obtained from the lining of the cow's stomach, and a non-Jewish rennet, which is produced from a cow that did not have shchita, is prohibited. Any cheese produced from the rennet is likewise prohibited. Okay. So the rennet, this substance is forbidden, and the cheese forbidden because again. In the beginning, the whole process was forbidden. Since most of the cheese is produced from rennet, Chazal prohibited any cheese produced by non-Jews, even if artificial, kosher alternatives to rennet were used. See, Rambam. So I think, if I remember correctly, we have actually learned this Rambam some time ago. They do it from dates, I think, like some special dates, and it's actually they have this the element that can help to make cheese. If I remember correctly, it's cheese is lower quality, right? But still, in some regions that would do, but they would do this. But since like the most common was to make this cheese with rennet, that's it. So Chazal may make this decision. The prohibition is rabbinic. According to Torah law, cheese produced from a non-kosher rennet is not prohibited. We need to see why. The rennet is less than 1/60th of the mixture and is bottle nullified. Nevertheless, Chazal decreed that any congelated non-kosher substance, davar ha'amid, cannot be nullified. Okay, let's see. As a general principle, Chazal did not permit bittul whenever a non-kosher ingredient is discernible in any way. Thus, the fact that the food congelate makes its congelating agent discernible. Wow, it's okay. let's see this commentary. Let's see this explanation. It's very, very interesting. So again, the prohibition is rabbinic, right? On this rennet, even though it is not from what is it from? Not from a cow that was slaughtered. Maybe it does not say that, but I guess maybe because it's not what is it? Is not meat. Maybe that's the explanation. So I'm not sure if anybody eats stomach. Maybe I saw a few times when on the market, not where I live, but abroad, right? In two countries, I saw that they were selling the stomachs. Like I did not know it is stomach until my wife told me. I mean, I never saw it before, even on the pictures. So I'm not sure what people would do with that. I have no idea. But I guess if it's not edible, like sinew or bones, for example, so it's not considered to be meat. And maybe that's why it is forbidden only by rabbinic decree. That's my guess. Because if it's meat, for sure it is rabbinic by biblical decree. I mean, can halachically considered to be meat. But let's see. So again, this prohibition is rabbinic. According to Torah law, cheese produced from non-kosher rennet is not prohibited. So according to Torah law, is not prohibited. Okay. The rennet is less than 1/60th of the mixture and bottle nullified. So since it is less than 1/60th, it is the rennet. It could be nullified. So I'm not sure what they do with prohibition to like to mix it like to begin with the non-kosher ingredients. I'm not sure. Nevertheless, Chazal decreed that any conjugated kosher substance, non-kosher substance, right, cannot be nullified, right? So why? Right? Chazal said this rennet cannot be nullified. Doesn't matter how much is it, right? Even less than 1/500 or something. As a general principle, Chazal did not permit beetle when the non-kosher ingredients are indiscernible in any way. So, and we actually learned in the beginning of the book. So, if you can taste the taste, right, of these ingredients, so it's never nullified. So, right, I don't know, some spice. I don't know. This is like some like for sure stands out. Okay. Thus the fact that the food can congeal makes the congelate agent discernible, right? So, meaning. Yes, we understand that we have that we have milk. Yeah, milk is milk, right? But why milk congeal? Because something was added, and for sure it was not kosher rennet. Okay. The obvious question is, since the cheese is made with rennet, how can one ever produce kosher cheese? Right? Any cheese, even if produced with a kosher rennet, is basar v'chalav. Since it is made with milk and meat, rennet. Okay, so I guess we need to see if it's a meat or not, right? So it's a famous question, right? How the cheese is like kosher cheese? What make kosher cheese kosher? If it's for sure meat and milk together, and we said we spent the whole chapter on it. We said any right, it would be forbidden the mixture to begin with. To mix it, you make it something forbidden. Okay. Since made in okay. Rishonim explained that davar hamamidru applies only to non-kosher matter. Non-kosher davar hamid cannot be nullified. However, kosher rennet in and of itself kosher. Okay. And become prohibited as basar v'chalav only when it is transmitted taste to the milk. Thus, since the rennet is nullified immediately when added to the milk, the rennet has the opportunity to become the davar hamid of the prohibited basar v'chalav. Therefore, cheese produced by a Jew with a kosher rennet is permitted. There is a commentary, so let's do this piece one more time and try to understand. So it's not so easy. And it says, the obvious question is, since the cheese is made with rennet, right, with this piece of stomach, how can one ever produce kosher cheese? Okay. Any cheese with, even produced with a kosher rennet, is basar v'chalav. So even if you use this stomach from the cow that underwent shchita, it doesn't matter. It's meat with milk together, right? Since it's made of milk and meat rennet. Okay, so the whole this is forbidden. So Rishonim explains that the davar hamat rule. How will be this? One second, what's the definition? Chazal decreed the non-kosher substance, congelated non-kosher substance. Okay, so davar v'chamit rule applies only to non-kosher matter. Okay, so this congelated substance. Okay, non-kosher davar v'chamit cannot be nullified. Okay, so it's not, since it's not kosher, it cannot be nullified. However, kosher rennet, in and of itself, is kosher, right? So if it's kosher, okay, and becomes prohibited as bara v'chalav only when it transmitted the taste of to the milk, right? And in my mind, it is some kind of exception, right? It is the only exception. So since it's like piece of the stomach, I don't think it has taste. Maybe yes, maybe no. I never ate the stomach, right? I mean, I don't think it's the healthiest food around, right? So since I guess it does not have a taste, does not transmit a taste, right? Because we said even if something is soaked in a cold liquid, it still transmits the taste, as we said before, like more than 24 hours. So in this case, since there is no taste at all, looks like, so the taste is not transmitted. Okay, so that's why they allow. Thus, since the rennet is nullified immediately when added to the milk, because it's more than 1 to 60, it never has the opportunity to become davar hamid of the prohibited basar v'chalav. Okay. Right. So right. Therefore, cheese produced by a Jew with kosher rennet is permitted. Commentary. Although one may not initially cause bitul or basar v'chalav, okay, as we explained, one may cause the kosher meat rennet to become nullified since it has been completely dried and is not edible. So I mean, we're close in explanation. So meaning that it's not considered to be meat any longer. So it's piece of stomach and completely dry, right? Not edible. And they add this dry piece of stomach into the milk. Okay. All right. So I mean, without this commentary, it would be very hard to understand what is the reason. There were Rishonim who maintains that the production of the Gevinas Akum, so right, Gevinas Akum and cheese of non-Jew, no longer applies since in their time actual rennet was no longer used. I'm not sure. Okay. However, the most Rishonim disagreed. I'm not sure what would they use. So again, I mean, even today they use rennet. Okay, one more time. There were Rishonim who maintained that the prohibition of the Gevinas Akum is no longer applied, since in their time actual rennet was no longer used. However, most Rishonim disagree. They maintain that since the prohibition of Gevinas Akum was instituted by Sanhedrin, right, it may not be revoked by the later Beis Din unless it is greater than the Beis Din that instituted the original decree. So since it was instituted by Sanhedrin, right, so nobody can change this decree, can cancel out this decree. This is true even if the reason for the original prohibition no longer applies. Right. So I mean that's as soon as this judges in Sanhedrin they stipulated something, that's it. It cannot be changed. And the accepted custom is to follow the second stricter opinion, and the Gevinas Akum prohibition remains in full force. Okay. Right. So I mean, we don't go that it's no longer applied. So and same as other things even the reason do not apply today, or we have I don't know what we call a proof to the other side. So we still continue doing what we're supposed to do. One example that I want to give is about treif of food, treif of meat, not food. Treif of meat. So they do a shchita, right? Everything correctly, everything done, and then they start checking the inside of the animal. So and one time I said it's 100, 250. It's not shown. So I double check. It's 72 places that Chazal said that it's possible. 72 places, organs that can render the animal treif. It's 71 for animals and one like special for birds. Okay, but all of them 72, right? And it says that all of these were several were directly from the Torah, from Chumash, right? But the rest were transmitted to Moshe on Mount Sinai. And the Halachah is it's very important. Somebody asked me today. I mean, but it's very important that to know that when it says it is Halachah Moshe Sinai, right? That Moshe received it, and we know from tradition that's what received. It's these halachas considered to be on the level of biblical commandments. So it is biblical. So even though I don't remember how many, 5 or I don't remember how many, like it came from the Torah directly from Chumash. I think 5, but I could be mistaken. But the rest came from our traditions, all on a biblical level. And our sages explain, even though today, these diseases, internal diseases, because of which animal is not going to live out the whole 12 months. And they say, even though in some cases, based on the scientific knowledge, all of the doctors would say, no, it's actually curable. We have this medicine, that medicine, and it can be cured, I don't know, in a few months or a few weeks, and there's no problem, guarantee is not going to die. So our sages say today, so that this prohibition is still apply. So even according to them, it is curable, right? Because since it was instituted that Halachah does not matter what they're going to come up with, and we go by Halachah that was accepted, right? And not because of the reason is it going to live 12 months or not. So it's very, very important. We still go by the bottom line Halachah, and I think they explained it and as an example of these diseases that animal because of which the animal is going to be treifa is diseases that most likely the animal is not going to live 12 months. But even if it's going to live more than 12 months, it's irrelevant. So we're still going by what sages accept. So I think it's very, very relevant here. Sanhedrin said that's the. I mean, there it's biblical, but sages explain it. And here Sanhedrin said it is forbidden. It is forbidden. Okay. So continue. So part number 2. So that cheese that I saw, I mean, I never looked into it how exactly they produce, but for sure I remember. It was a kosher sign, a reliable hechsher. Okay, I think a reliable hechsher, but what is it on the packaging? It was halaf stam for sure, not halaf akum, but halaf stam, meaning the milk that under like governmental supervision. Okay, so part number 2, a decree of supervision. degree of the supervision required to remove the prohibition. So there are ways around. Okay, since the prohibition Gevinas Akum was imposed on a cheese produced by a non-Jew, it would seem that it depends entirely upon who actually produces the cheese. Okay, the presence of the Jew should be irrelevant. However, there is some disagreement on that matter, right? So meaning who is going to produce the cheese, right? That's the question. So in the milking of the cow, we said if Jew is there, it changes the whole idea. So the whole milk is going to be Halaf Israel. Even Jew does not do any milking, right? So here we say here it's more precise. Who did the cheese? Who produced the cheese? Meaning non-Jew. So Jew is there, it's not there, it's irrelevant. Okay, but there are exceptions. Exceptions, very interesting. Continue. Number 1, Jewish present during the milking and the cheese production. So Jew just oversee the whole process. Okay. So let's say in some cases it could be a Jewish owner, but workers non-Jewish. Most poskim permit cheese produced by a non-Jew if a Jew was present during both the milking and the production of the cheese. Okay. So present, not participated, but present. Commentary. Even though the source of the milk is of no concern, since the non-kosher milk cannot be used in the cheese, the poskim follow the minority opinion. Right? See there's a note in see note 2, meaning they still want to go stricter, right? So I mean, meaning that right. So see we want to go stricter. Continue. Although the Jew did not participate in the actual production, he asserted that the milk was kosher, and the non-kosher rennet was not used. So it's very important. So that three things, right? The Jew was supervising the milking, and he was supervising the making cheese, and he made sure that they use only kosher rennet. Okay. While some poskim disagree, common custom is to follow the lenient opinion and permit cheese produced by a non-Jew if the Jew was present during the milking and cheese production. Okay, commentary. I mean, most of the work, the workers I understand on this factor is non-Jews. Okay, the Jews are supervisors, but these are non-Jews. Okay. So it says Shach maintains that if a Jew does not actually place the Jew does not actually place the congealant agent into the milk, the cheese is considered Gevinas Akum. So it's made by a non-Jew. Hamadam follows the stricter opinion. Okay. So all right. So I mean, it's not that hard. For the Jew is going to supervise the milking, and he would put himself manually. I'm not sure how much he should put in this in the bucket, this rennet, and that's it, right? And he was present. Present does not have to he stand on top of this non-Jew. He would walk in, walk out. That's the present. Okay. Okay. So then it's then it's going to be permitted. Okay, no problem. So three things: so supervising of the milking, put himself personally kosher rennet into the milk, and supervise the making of the cheese process. Okay. Number 2, Jewish presence during the cheese productions only. It is in a difficult situation. Some poskim permit cheese produced by a non-Jew, even if the Jew was not present during the milking. This poskim follow opinion of Tosafos of Avodah 35a, who disagree with Rashi. Okay, so maybe this cheese that I saw was exactly that cheese. So it was produced from halaf stam milk, but the cheese was produced by Jews. Okay, under the Jewish supervision. Okay. So let's read again and we go into details. So it says, in addition, in the difficult situation, some poskim permit cheese produced by a non-Jew, even if the Jew was not present during the milking, okay, if the following conditions are met. A, it is ascertained that the milk was specifically milk to be used for cheese production. Okay, so that's what we discussed before. It was a certain, this must be definitely a certain. One cannot rely on an assumption. Meaning, and just to remind us, we said, I think last time, that if it was first milk was produced by a non-Jew for sale, so we said there is a possibility that he added their non-kosher milk, and then he could not sell it, and now he wants to make cheese because the milk is going to spoil. And guess what? This milk is not going to be allowed, right? But if he produced the milk specifically for cheese, there is no problem. He's not going to add anything. He can sell as it is. Okay. Thus, the non-kosher milk was certainly not added, since it would negatively affect the quality of the cheese. Okay. So if he asserted this one, it's good. And second one is B. A Jew was present during the production of the cheese to ensure that non-kosher rennet was not added. So meaning that he personally added this rennet. However, one may rely on a leniency only in a difficult situation. There is the milk inadvertently was milk before non-Jew arrives. Oh, okay. And it would cause a severe financial loss if the milk were not used. So it's very interesting. So yeah, it is allowed, but only okay. So he knows, okay, that the Jew asserted that milk was milk only for a cheese, and he got stuck in traffic, and he came late, right? And they could not wait any longer, and they milked the cow. I mean, cows need to be like otherwise, I think they're going to suffer, right? So they milked the cow without a Jewish present, right? And then he supervises only the production of the milk. So it's not like lechatchila just buy non-kosher milk and you do whatever you want. So Rima in 115.2 and Chazon Ish Yeridaya 40 maintains that this refers to a case where the Jew inadvertently arrived late, right? Got stuck in. So it's not like he was. He always come at night and they milk the cow at 6. It's not, right? However, if he intentionally relied on the leniency and was not present, the cheese is prohibited. Again, going to back to the cheese that I saw, I'm not sure. So, all right. So continue. And plus, they start milking before he arrived. And if they like throw out all of the cheese, it's going to produce. It's going to be a cause of great financial loss. Okay. So next case, number 3, cheese produced in the United States nowadays. In the opinion of Rav Moshe Feinstein, Zatzal, who is noted early in the 12th chapter, last one, maintains that nowadays milk produced in the United States is not considered halaf Akum, right, but halaf stam. Cheese produced with a Jewish supervision of the production, not milking, is permitted, even if no difficulty involved. So, right, we're going back. So I mean that case was strict in all other places. So in the United States, as he's saying, according to Moshe Feinstein, that's also the milk is not halaf akum, right? It's not halaf akum, the milk that was produced by idolater, right? And Jew can take this milk and make cheese. I mean, and have to supervise the non-Jew to making cheese. Okay. 23 commentary. The reason that we are required Jewish presence during the milking is only because of the concern that non-Jewish milk droplets may remain in cheese crevices. Right. According to Rabbi Moshe Feinstein Zatzal, there is no concern today that for that possibility, that non-kosher milk is added. I mean, right. Okay, continue. Although Rav Moshe Feinstein Zatzal advises that scrupulous persons should preferably drink only Halaf Israel milk, right? He maintains that even scrupulous person may freely eat cheese produced under Jewish supervision from a non-Halaf Israel milk. Okay, so I mean he's very, very straightforward. So that's why some people they would drink only Halaf Israel milk, but they would eat Halaf's non-Halaf Israel. Right. The cheese that was not produced from Halaf Israel milk. Okay, so commentary. Igras Moshe, Yorek Deyat 316. See also 4.5. The reason for this leniency is because he only advises that one avoid non-Halaf Israel milk because the definite rabbinical prohibition of Halaf Akum is at stake. Okay. In this case, in addition to Rav Moshe Feinstein's lenient position regarding milk, where the lenient position from the other poskim regarding the cheese. So, right, we have leniency about the milk, and plus we have leniency about the cheese. So we can combination of the factors. However, one who follows the opinion of the poskim cited in chapter 12, who disagree with Moshe Feinstein and completely prohibit non-Halaf Israel milk, may not eat cheese produced from non-Jew if a Jew was present during the milking. If no Jew was present during the milking, unless conditions cited in number 2 apply. Okay, so let me quickly see. What time is it? Okay, so maybe. Okay, so let's do one more. So case number 4. The practical halacha nowadays. There are 2 types of cheese available today for the kosher consumer: Halaf Israel cheese and non-Halaf Israel cheese, produced under kosher supervision. Okay, so that's the second time what I saw, but as I saw, I mean, it's not like I go and check all the cheeses, but I saw it only once. Okay. And it's like in a big supermarket, like most of the products then products are not non-kosher, but there is some like kosher selections of like mixed in basically. Okay. 25 commentary. Some Kashrut supervision organization require an additional factor that allows one to be lenient. They require that the Jew place a rennet into the milk. Okay, so this is a third condition. Thus, we actually participate in a cheese making process. Very interesting. Cheese making process. While this eliminates the objection of Shach, cited in note 15, the problem of the lack of supervision of making of milking remains. Okay. If one does not rely upon this, if one does not rely upon leniency of Moshe Feinstein, that's all. Okay. So meaning even to today, right? Even they give a kosher stamp. So because this cheese was produced by under kosher supervision by the milk and nut, they also required that the Jew add this rennet into the milk. So I mean, it's not big. Just put a piece of this dry thing there, and no problem. Those who follow Rav Moshe Feinstein lenient position may eat non-Halaf Israel kosher cheese, even if they follow his advice to drink Halaf Israel milk, right? So I mean that's why it's not contradiction, and these people not being hypocrites, right? So they just go by opinion of the same rabbi. So he said preferably to eat Halaf Israel milk, and there is no problem to eat cheese that was not produced from Halaf Israel milk, right? But of course under kosher supervision. Okay. Those who follow other poskim who disagree with Rav Moshe should eat only halaf Israel cheese. Where possible, this is more preferred opinion, right? So I mean, I've never seen in a kosher supermarket this halaf stam, the cheese that with not halaf Israel milk. Okay, no problem. So we can do, but there is some some kosher companies. I don't think they're kosher, so they would stamp anything, and they would not even say like it's halaf Israel, not halaf Israel. They would just say D, right? That's the famous one that even in this big supermarket where we where we shop, it's a tablets K. Yeah, tablets, right? Tablets, and inside the K, and they say what the D or whatever the K. So it's not kosher, right? But everywhere it's listed as a kosher cheese. Unfortunately, it's not. They do not even care to put its halaf stam, halaf nothing. Okay. So commentary. This is based on several reasons. Meaning, we're going to explain the second opinion, the most stricter opinion. All right, that from the poskim that say that you have to eat only cheese that was produced from halaf Israel milk. Okay, so there is a commentary on this. This is based on several reasons. Many poskim hold differently from Reb Moshe. Okay. B, the Chazon Ish cites additional reasons to prohibit cheese made from the milk produced with non-kosher supervision. Okay. C, perhaps not all milk used today for cheese is milk specifically for a cheese production. Okay, also possible. Therefore, the only lenient basis is Rav Moshe's original ruling regarding the milk, and even if his opinion, it is preferable to be strict. D. Right, the entire lenient position of the poskim regarding the cheese was due to non-availability of kosher cheese in the previous times. Right. So today, since it's like a lot of kosher cheese, I mean, I don't want to put it down, but since it's a lot of cheese that was produced from what is it from halaf Israel milk. So right, why should we go lenient opinion? Okay. This may be a factor regarding the producer of the cheese or a consumer who has difficulty procuring halaf Israel cheese. So I mean, yeah. So in case of need, okay, each of these is in a difficult position and may rely upon lenient opinion cited in note to be above. Okay. However, nowadays in many areas, halaf Israel cheese is readily available, albeit somewhat more expensive. Okay. It is questionable if, no, I mean, it is expensive, much more expensive. Okay. It is questionable if, in these circumstances, even Rav Moshe would completely dismiss the preference of halaf Israel cheese. Preference halaf Israel cheese, unless one's financial situations warrants it, right? So since it's a situation changed in his time, it was not easy to get, but now it's much easier. So maybe he would change his halacha. Maybe the purpose of this line is not to invalidate the or to denigrate the custom of those who eat kosher non-halaf Israel brands of cheese. Rather, it is to encourage them to give serious thought to the issue and discuss them with their Rav or a mentor. Okay, no problem. So, okay, we stop here on section 3. This other cheese production. Okay. So let's see if we have any questions on this cheese. Okay, so we don't have one cheese, but we have other questions. So it says, is in this case, is a lawyer allowed to pretend to be sick to escape the situation? Is this type of lying permitted? Yeah, it's this type of lying is permitted. So I'm just wanted to remind about the situation. So the situation was that that we discussed in the beginning of the class about lawyers and therapists that when they hear some secrets from their clients, it looks like that they have to disclose to the suffering party, right? So they cannot get away from it. I mean, because there is we said there is Halachah. Don't allow your brother blood to be spilled while you're watching, right? Yeah, he can pretend that he's sick, but how long he's going to be sick? Right, so this person said, okay, he's sick, or maybe 3-5 days. I'm going to wait. Yeah, what this lawyer is going to do, right? If in the meantime he has other open cases, he has to work on them. I think if they're going to complain, if they're going to complain to what is it, office bar association, they can this lawyer can lose his license. Understand? So I would say if it's a money matter, so give this guy a price that like 17 times bigger, so he would quit. That's to client, right? I'm not sure if it's going to work out. If he's said the money is irrelevant, I want you because you're the best lawyer. So what are you going to do then? I'm not sure. Okay, so let's do maybe one question before we break. Okay, so here's a question from earlier today, and it says, HaShem, kindly please answer the question about procedure of Halachos of Yichud among the nations. Okay, the Halachos of Yichud are only permitted to Am Israel as well. Just one second. Halachos of Yichud are only pertinent. Misread. Pertinent to Am Israel as well of Halachah, all Halachas. Then how to proceed in a case that a non-Jew wants to know the Halachos of Yichud? No. We actually said in many cases, and some I think I always say what it says in parentheses, but in all of the cases it says, for example, a female, it doesn't matter she's Jew or non-Jew, doesn't matter. Like if it's a nurse or it's a male, it's absolutely irrelevant because the arayos are arayos. Same this intimate relations forbidden, like be it his I don't know, his third cousin or his neighbor. It's absolutely irrelevant. Right. So if non-Jew one wants to learn this laws, they can learn from us. So this one of the topics that is open to everybody. This kosher kitchen, it's I mean people hear this class, they will probably fall asleep in 3.5 minutes from this discussion. Maybe it's a good we can charge them for like what is it, sleep as a sleeping pill. But this Yichud for sure it's applied to everybody. And it's actually I guess it's even stricter to a non-Jews than to a Jews, because in the Jews we said that there's a category of what is it, men that is like respected men, and we know they're God-fearing, and same I think we said, I don't remember what was the term called, about women, the proper status. I mean there is still they're different. The halachah for these women are different from halachas for regular women. Right, and I think non-Jews, and they also in the category of pritzus. I think all of them. I think maybe I'm mistaken, but we didn't get to it. But it's possible, right? Okay, so continue. One second, jumps again. Okay, so continue. The explanation of my question is that if the non-Jewish person is not willing to convert, okay, and knowing that there exists possibility that a person goes and returns to idolatry, atheism, okay, is it possible for him to learn this halacha, or better to gently explain him that it is necessary to be a formal conversion process for him to learn about them? The deep reason, okay, so the deep reason for this question is that the person actually goes and returns to idolatry or atheism. Then he can argue that morality does not belong to Am Israel, okay, but even the atheists of idolaters that do not have Yiras Shamayim, okay, can be as ethical or even better than Chas v'Shalom Am Israel. Thank you very much for the okay. So I mean, it's a very deep question. So basically, we're talking about a person who is a non-Jew and does not have a plan to conversion. And if he or she is going to, like, I'm summarizing the question, and person, if he is going to learn, or he or she is going to learn this laws of Yichud, and they're going to practice that, somehow they have a claim that they're a righteous person. I mean, they could be a righteous person, but what is it to us? I mean, we're not comparing anybody to anybody, right? If person is righteous, he could be Jew or non-Jew. Right? If person is immodest, it could be Jew or non-Jew. But let's read it again, and we try to maybe give detailed answers. The Halachah of Yichud pertinent only to Am Israel as well as all Halachas. Then how the process proceed in a case of a non-Jew who wants to know this halachos of Yichud. So there's some halachas that actually pertain to everybody, right? For example, as we said, as in our class Hilchos Dios, right? This character development, it pertains to everybody, right? And some other things like laws of forbidden speech, right? It pertains to everybody. Right? Maybe Jews are going to be punished more if, for the sin, but it's expected of non-Jew to behave this way. It's one of the laws that we do because of the logic. So if a person would speak behind somebody's back, negative information, for sure it's going to create problems, hatred, for sure. It's not maybe, for sure, right? So it's it's concerned non-Jews as well, right? Only this technical stuff that we do, like laws of Yom Tov, this thing, this kosher kitchen, Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, and plus not everything from Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. Even from then, it's only for Jews. Some things for non-Jews as well, right? Okay. The explanation of my question is that a non-Jewish person is not willing to convert. Okay, know that exists the possibility that a person goes return to idolatry / atheism. It is possible for him to learn this halacha, or is better to gently explain to him that is necessary to be a formally in conversion process to learn that. No, as I said, there is no problem. They can learn. I mean, I don't think that the person. So the person is going to practice. Even if a person learns, maybe learns with us and by himself or herself a book and reads 17 times, 3 times, 2 times, let's say. Yeah, and they're going to practice? Absolutely not. How do you know? Yesterday we proved it, right? So we said that it's from Rav Dessler's Zatzal, right? So with Michtav Meliyahu, we said that even air, when person is in a polluted area, like when a person goes back to his old habits and all of this, surrounded by promiscuity, and now this non-Jew, I mean, it doesn't matter how great he was before he returned to this idolatry, he's going to abide by the laws of Yichud. I mean, that's funny to say the least. Understand? They're not because the surrounding is going to, even the poor person was when he was in a process on some kind of level of holiness, it's going to go down like a balloon, right? When you make a balloon, like an air balloon, huge, you make a hole, in 3 seconds it's nothing, it's on the ground. So same is happening to other people. Why? Because of the surrounding. Yesterday we learned about it, right? So they can do basically whatever they want. This class is there's no problem whatsoever. I mean, this Yichud. Goes and return to idolatry. They can argue that morality does not belong to Am Israel. So I mean, it's like a practice of morality. So they don't stand a chance, basically, not because of their people, because of their surroundings. Can't belong to Am Israel. But even atheist idolaters, right, do not have Yirat Shamayim. Is ethical. No, they cannot be unethical. No. Why? Because most likely they would be ethical according to them, but not according to the Torah. Okay, that's the thing. Or even better, Chas v'Shalom, them Am Israel. I mean, without Torah, it's impossible to be ethical, because most likely a person would be ethical to their own person. And in the beginning of the class, we said that these two examples. And if you ask me, I don't know, if this lawyer would come to me and ask me advice, I don't know. I would not be. I would say I'm not in position to even think about it, because it's too much to say that it would be allowed to have somebody suffer, even though it's not the greatest person. It's anyway. We're getting this. The picture of this other side from guy who hates it, the biased person. Of course, we cannot believe, right? And other Jew is going to suffer. So I mean, we have an absolute obligation. Volunteer the information, as we said many times in the book. Volunteer. It's not like it's a good thing to do. No, you must. Nobody asks you. You must step forward. So what this lawyer is going to do, I don't know. So, and again, it might take even in a business lawyer. So the business lawyer, they say, you know what? We said that our company was so much, but it's not. We sold it. The actual insurance went up. This went down. This is okay. So, and this lawyer has to present to the other side, like a write-up that it's the best company. It's like a Microsoft or something. Right, so I mean, we should not be concerned about it. So the bottom line, just because a person heard something does not mean they're going to practice, and even they're going to practice. So why should be compared to the Jews? Okay. So all right. So time is. Let's make 5 minutes break, and then we continue with other topics. 5 minutes. So we continue today with the laws of Yichud, and we started section we did not finish. It was Yichud in a car, right? Yichud in a car. So the scenario number 2, scenario number 1 was extenuating circumstances like Yichud in a car, and today is picking up hitchhiker late at night. Or late at night, or on a countryside road. Okay. And it says a male driver picking up female hitchhiker. So I mean, as we understand, it's a problem. A man who is driving alone in a countryside road, or in any sparsely populated area, may not pick a female hitchhiker, Jewish or non-Jewish. So here, as I said, in parentheses, sometimes he had, but sometimes he does not. But I think, Jew, non-Jew does not make any difference. Who is total stranger unless A, she's a minor in danger, right? There is a lost wandering alone, okay, or a woman in a circumstance of apparent danger. For example, a woman in labor, is presently exposed to severe in inclement weather, vulnerable to the presence of the criminal elements. Or, okay, so again, so exception. So male, in general, male should not pick up any hitchhiker. So we said in the previous one, if there is some relationships and the other side is going to get offended and this and that, and there is no only right, and they're going to lose money. Okay, so it was last time, but here is a total. We're talking about to total stranger, basic halachah, no Jews and non-Jew, but the exception, of course, there is a minor in danger. Somebody is lost, a child, right? Or running away from somebody. A woman who is a circumstance of apparent danger, for example, a woman in labor, so you see that she's in labor and I don't know, she cannot drive, and I don't know, so something that happened, right? So she parked like on the side of the road because she cannot no longer drive. That's the thing. A woman in labor or presently exposed to the inclement weather, right? Is present. So I mean that's about this woman in labor. Okay. Vulnerable to the presence of criminal elements, etc. Oh, right. So meaning somebody is in danger. Okay. Or so out of courtesy we cannot. A man cannot give a right to a hitchhiker woman unless there is like extenuating circumstance. Or B, to avoid stopping, for a woman could elicit extreme public resentment and the HaShem regarding Jews. Particularly in the case of the Torah observant Jews whose obviously Jewish appearance would cause the Jew in general to be judged, right? There is in the mass media as a callous and cruel, right? So that's would be big HaShem. So if a person is dressed Jewish, looks Jewish, right? And so it would be the big HaShem not to stop, right? Because she's going to make sure that everybody knows that this Jew, when I was in such a terrible situation, did not stop. Of course, it could be criminals that do that, but okay, what can you do? Right, so that's another leniency. The affirmation also applies in a case of two female hitchhikers. Okay. However, I mean, as we said, that there is some poskim that rule leniently only in the case of 3 women, but 2 women is almost as one. I mean, the Halachah is strict as it is a apology. 1 woman is a biblical restriction, and 2 women is a rabbinical restriction, but still restriction. However, if of 2 or more Torah observant men are in a car, they may offer the woman a right, whether she is Jewish or not Jewish, even if there is no concern for HaShem, if they fear that avoiding this gesture could cause hard feelings. Okay. So again, so two women problem. However, 2 Torah observant men are in the car. They may offer a woman a right, whether she is Jewish or not Jewish, even if there is no concern for HaShem. I'm not sure how they know, but let's say, like if they fear that avoiding the gesture could cause the hard feelings. Okay. Refer to example once above. Okay. So meaning they can offer, especially people like in the middle of the night, right? From somewhere. So I remember driving in Israel like late at night, not very late, but the dark. Let's put it there, very dark. And you see these people like people on a bus stop. Of course, there is bus coming. I know when it's coming, but you stop there. I don't know. You don't know how many people are hiding behind the bus station. So some people would they distance themselves from the bus station and they try to stop right. Okay. Very interesting. I mean, scary. Continue. Next one. A female driver picking up male hitchhiker. So it is forbidden for a woman or even 2 women driving alone in a sparsely traveled road to pick up a male hitchhiker who is totally stranger, even if he appears to be a Torah observant Jew. Right? Very simple. However, if he is a minor, or even an adult who is in circumstances of obvious danger, right? So clear halacha for women not to pick up men, right? Even if two of them, right? But if he's a minor, so a child got lost in the woods, I don't know, or even adults who is in circumstance of obvious danger, right? For example, collapsed in a street, okay, exposed to severe elements, right, rain or something, elements weather, vulnerable to criminal elements, of course, there is and etc., and refusing to take him for help. Could cause the severe resentment Hil HaShem regarding the Jews. This thing we always have to be aware of, that not to create Hil HaShem, right? She may take him for help, if no one else is available, and she feels absolutely certain that he can be judged as a non. One second. She may take him for help if no one else is available, and she feels absolutely certain that he can be judged as non-threatening. Right. So I mean, maybe elderly person, I don't know, like weak or something. So if she said that he's not a danger, so that's an exception. Even if a man signaling for a ride is an acquaintance, for example, neighbor, elderly acquaintance, etc., right, whom she knows to be an honorable person, but who is not in danger, she may not pick him up very late at night or in a quiet countryside road, even by day, because the issue of Yichud. So that's the thing. It's tough calls. For I give you this example in like exit from Borough Park, right? There's Borough Park. There is like always hitchhikers. They go like always Jews, like and of course the roads are very narrow, so of course they see who is behind the wheel, right? So if you don't stop them, if you know them, it's not a good idea, right? And there are only a few. Right. It's very interesting. So maybe in the countryside, maybe a wider road, maybe they stay not on the road, like on a shoulder. They maybe they're not going to see you, but still okay. So again, even if man is signaling for a ride, is acquaintance, right? For example, neighbor, elderly acquaintance, right? Whom she knows to be an honorable person, meaning she does not suspect, right? But is not in danger. So like she may not pick him up very late at night or on a quiet countryside road, even by day, right? Because it's issue of Yichud. However, if there is a traffic and activity on the street, she may offer the acquaintance a ride, even if he's non-Jew, if she is concerned about avoiding him would cause resentment. So that's resentment is a big deal. So we have to be very, very careful. Right. So number 3, accepted practice regarding Yichud in a car. I stated earlier, most poskim rule leniently on a general question of Yichud in a car, leniently. It appears that accepted custom in most communities is in accordance with the lenient view. Therefore, if necessary, a man may accept a ride with a lone woman driver during the day or early evening hours. There is even with the traffic or similar activity on the street. Okay, streets. Okay, so not a woman is not permitted to hitchhike. So that's a different story. Right, a woman is not permitted to hitchhike, but if she's driving and there is a man, so technically she can give him a ride. Okay. One second. So therefore, a man can accept a ride for a lone woman driver. However, when considering the premises of the poskim, rule strictly, on the matter, notably Igras Moshe Zatzal, right? One should certainly avoid Yichud in a car if there is suitable alternative. Okay, meaning meaning not a hitchhike, or you see there is a woman. So say next car, no problem, stuff like that. Okay, so we can stop here. Alright, so let's see what else. So let's continue with our questions. So next question, we'll ask a question about Ribbis, on Ribbis. Okay, if Jewish business owner Shimon bought some inventory from a Jewish vendor Reuven on credit, and due to the unexpected circumstances, Shimon is unable to pay inventory on time. Okay, is Shimon allowed to ask the promissory note from Reuven for the extension of his interest? There is a Shimon owns the business in partnership with a non-Jew. Okay, so let's read again and try to understand the situation. Again, question about Ribbis. A Jewish businessman, business owner Shimon, bought some inventory from a Jewish vendor Reuven on credit. So Shimon owes Reuven $1,000. And due to unexpected circumstances, Shimon is unable to pay the inventory on time. So he said, I'm sorry, I don't have $1,000. Okay. If Shimon is allowed to ask a promissory note from Reuven. 1 second. So Reuven is a vendor. So Shimon owes to Reuven from Reuven for the extension of his interest. I don't think so. It's not allowed, right? So with interest, it's never allowed. So he cannot pay. He cannot pay. That's it. I mean, he cannot pay, and that's the end of the story. So, right. What if Shimon owes the business in a partnership with non-Jew? I don't think anything changes in this situation if there is non-Jew, because the money is belong to a partnership, and he borrowed personally. So we cannot say now that it's non-Jew borrowed. It's not going to fly, right? So a business is one entity. Okay, so let's see if we have more questions. Right. Okay. So next question. Since being disciple of Avraham, and disciple of Balaam, Avraham disciple of Balaam, okay, is divided by such a thin line. Okay, how do we know that we're not becoming disciple of Balaam? Okay, how do we know that the Torah is not nurturing our Yetzer Hara, where we are becoming a whole worse version of ourselves while thinking we are upright just as Balaam did? I don't remember that Balaam did care about his upright or not upright. I don't think so. I mean, some people don't bother with these nonsenses, right? It says some Jews, right? They want to be upright people. This people, they do not care, right? Very interesting. So, but again, since being disciple of Avraham and disciple of Balaam is divided by a thin line, such a thing, I'm not sure why it says like that. Disciples of Avraham, disciples of Balaam, divided by a thin line. I think this guy Balaam was worshiping idols. Avraham was worshiping one God, and Avraham was trying to help people, and Balaam was trying to help himself. Right? He could have been as great as Moshe Rabbeinu, even greater, but he decided to use his talents and his God-given gifts to enrich himself. That's I'm not sure what was the connection to Avraham. Okay, how do we know that we are not becoming disciples of Balaam? Okay, so I mean, Balaam is very simple. So he would use everything for for himself. That's it. That's his goal. But if a person cares about the whole nation of Israel, so that's for sure not Balaam. How do we know that our Torah is not nurtured our Yetzer Hara, where we are becoming worse version of ourselves while thinking we are upright just as Balaam did? I'm going to read one more time. How do we know that our Torah is not nurtured our Yetzer Hara? I mean, Torah, nurture Yetzer Hara, we're becoming worse. Okay, so let me try to understand what the actual question is. So Torah in its pure form is not it cannot nurture a Yetzer Hara, and actually our sages say you start learning not for the Torah's sake, Shula Lishma, and then it's going to bring the to Lishma for Torah's sake. So even person started to learning Torah because he wanted some position, he wanted to be to have some respect, some admiration, right? But then and our sages say continue doing, because in the meantime it's going to bring him to Lishma, because he's going to serve HaShem because HaShem said so, right? So we just continue learning Torah. So, and I think just from time to time, person have to review his motives. Why exactly I'm learning Torah? And if nobody is going to find out how great I am in this topic or whatever, right? Am I going to still learn Torah, or maybe not so much? So that's I think we do the self test, right? Is it Yetzer Hara or love to HaShem? Okay. So next one, is it proper to steal during the prayer? Is it proper to be still? I apologize, during the prayer, or if one is allowed to sway in place? Is it proper to be still in prayer, or is one allowed to sway in place? So it's possible, it's a different style. It's like some people concentrate better when they still, right? Absolutely still. But for some people, it's it's easier, they go into rhythm, right? And some melody they chant, and they in pronunciation of the prayer. It's easier for them to sway from one side to another, back and forth. So there is no preferred way. I guess the preferred way according to the person's nature, but whatever whatever helps them to go deep up in the prayer. That's it. For me personally, I'm talking about my personally, parts like this and parts like that. I don't know. It's not does not come from consciousness, from subconscious. I don't know from where. So I was I just catch myself swaying too much. And stop myself, but I don't know where is it coming from. So I guess a person should not control themselves. Whatever, but the goal is concentration. That's it. It's not forbidden this or that. But if it's in a place where everybody not swaying and right shackle, not shackle, so maybe it's proper not to do that, because this person is going to attract a lot of attention, and people is going to look at him or her like a pretender, like a show off. That's the worst, right? Even a person is not show off, but people would start talking about him or her negatively. That's the issue. Okay, so you have to see what other people do, and if it's not normal like that, so you can choose any way. So next question. We have on the proper level of drunkenness in the darkness. I apologize. On the proper level of darkness in the bedroom when being intimate. Okay, since Yaakov Avinu could not recognize Leah, Imenu, even if at their bedroom very night, should we learn from this that the proper level of darkness is a bedroom in the proper level of darkness in the bedroom, in order to achieve the holy intimacy, is dark enough to the extent that one cannot recognize recognize well the face of the spouse Todah. Okay, so let's read again, and we're going to try to explain. Proper way of darkness. I mean, in the room, in the when being intimate. Since Yaakov Avinu could not recognize Leah, right? So it should be like pitch dark, as in the days of in the case of Yaakov Avinu, and not necessarily. It could be some light, like but very dim. Some like sometimes it's like in different rooms, so but in a hallway, but the door is open, so it's not complete pitch dark, but there is some light. There is some light, right? So whatever people feel comfortable, right? I mean, but not open light for sure. That's absolutely forbidden. So again, so maybe it's because of the modesty, and plus they say maybe he's going to see some defects on her body, or she's going to see some defects on his body, and then they're going to get disgusted from that. That's a big issue. People getting disgusted. So today in different class I had mentioned why men are attracted to other women if he has a wife, and I know who it came from, because there is a couple there. So yeah, it's very interesting, right? Right. So when for men there is no secrets, that everything is in light and open in a wife, so he can get a little tired from that, right? So that's also the problem. So it's in interest on the wife to keep some secrets from him. Okay. So that's what it is. So it's not open light, but some light is allowed. Maybe candle, like a different side of the room or something. Okay. So next one. We learn from Rabbi Reuven Shlita that studying laws regarding tragic occurrences protect person from suffering them. If the person automatically thinks about studying the laws regarding certain tragic occurrences, such as becoming infertile or barren, or similar, is it because HaShem wants to protect the person from this tragedy, specifically since he might be doing something that could cause this to happen, such a consuming certain medication or the like to die? Okay, so it's a very interesting question. So let's do it again and try to explain. So I learned from Rabbi Reuven Shlita that studying laws regarding tragic occurrences protect a person from the suffering. If the person automatically thinks that from studying that the laws regarding certain tragic occurrences, such as becoming infertile and barren, or similar, because HaShem wants to protect the person from tragedy. Okay, I mean to study about these tragic consequences of a person's action. Okay, I mean okay, that's proper, right? Hashem protects a person who is tragedy similar might go doing something could cause that to happen, like a medication. I mean, it cannot always be on like contingent on a fear of the punishment. So like even like on the fear you can run for some time, but afterwards a person would get tired of the fear, and his Yetzer Hara would say, look, nothing happened, or he got infertile. Guess what? Many people did not get infertile. You understand? So, and all other things. So we actually try to see why a person has this thought, why he has to work on this thing, right? Go to the root of the cause and see, like, try to eliminate it. Why there is struggle to begin with, right? Otherwise, like if a person tried to suppress 1 time, 10 times, it's only a matter of time that like 28th time, let's say he's very a very strong-willed person, 28th time is going to explode in his face, guaranteed. Right? So, but if we try to go to the root cause and try to get rid of it, so it's much more productive. And we said yesterday, right? It was very interesting, like addition to our class from Rav Yahud Dessler, that's all. Right, about this, when even the people see the concept like punishment of the wicked, sometimes it's backfire, and people like or the degradation of the wicked, and they actually like works up exactly opposite as we thought. So quickly for people who did not were not there yesterday, just one of the examples. I mean, it took us 25 minutes or so, but quickly, just one of the example. When it's the story from the Midrash, when they wanted to teach person a lesson who is becoming a drunkard, and I don't remember who, his relatives, his friend, took him to see the famous drunkard of the town, and he was wallowing his in the dirt and vomit, and he was like talking to himself, smiling, like they say, you want to be like that, they want to scare him like to death, or like you want to end up like this, you're a nice person. And he said, let me talk to this guy. And he went to this guy, the drunkard, and he said, my dear friend, please tell me where you get such a beautiful wine. You understand? So some like they wanted to scare him to death that he will start drinking. Sometimes it's the effect is exactly opposite, right? So it's not we're trying to go to the root cause of the issue. And there are like other examples why a person is not deserving to see the punishment of the wicked, right? It can create even more damage. Right, that contagious this like issue is in the air. So the same as a person can get sick from inhaling the air of if there is like a virus or something. Same as the air that enter his nostrils, or even this sight of something immodest, something sinful, can affect a person. Okay, so reading about this consequence of these people, okay, to the certain extent, I would say. Continue. Next question. Could I have a question about male driving, picking up female hitchhiker? Okay. I wonder what would we constitute the vulnerable to the presence of criminal elements. If there is a woman in a gas station or parking lot where no one else is there, is the situation counted as vulnerable to the criminal elements, since technically a random car can stop and take advantage of her, God forbid? I guess it's also okay. So we're going to read again, but it's also that depends on the neighborhood. If it's a nice, quiet suburban neighborhood, maybe there is not such a problem. But if it's in a city and there is activity next to me, like the project. So when I go to my shul, I have to pass projects. And first of all, it was like a very interesting experience. There is a police car. There is police cars from all of the sides. There is, I don't know how many buildings, 6, 7 buildings, 8. I don't know how many. But there is police cars next there the whole night, the whole day, like all the time. Why not to spend gas and not to waste any time, because criminal activity is guaranteed. How often? I don't know. Often I see people arrested, people emergency come closer to the building. So I guess the area like this is very dangerous. I mean, I just passed by. They know me. We don't do I do eye contact. You do eye contact with this person, you maybe it's the last time you walk this road. You understand? But it's for me it's a shortcut, and many times I just don't have time or energy to go around. So, but for a woman like in late at night or early in the morning, for sure it's a danger. Okay. Okay, so we try to read again and explain. Question about male driving, picking up female hitchhiker. Male, and she's female. Okay. I wonder what it would we consider the vulnerable. The one we said there, like maybe the elements, it's raining or something, other things, or she's pregnant and she cannot drive any longer. I don't know, something like that. To the presence of criminals, right? So presence of criminals. So again, we said, if, as I just explained, if it's a dangerous neighborhood, or she's in the middle of, as we said, in the parking lot, like nobody's there. Guess what? There's crazy kids or something. They're driving around. So yeah, they would stop and take advantage of this woman, right? Easily, right? And how many when I walk to shul, so I sometimes I go in the back alley. And the back alley, so there is people. There's when I go, like it's after hours. There is a school, public school across. So there is nobody's there, right? Restaurant behind the restaurant. So people park there, and sometimes they smoke marijuana in a car, and after they start driving. Like it's crazy, absolutely. I'm not sure how can. I think they have to be high after this. I don't know. I never spoke marijuana, but I think like drunk, and these people driving. So if they see after this smoking in the middle of the night, they see female is standing. So guess what happened? All right. So I guess it's vulnerable. Gas station or parking lot where no one else is there yet, and situation counted as vulnerable. I think so. To criminal elements, yeah. I mean, if she's in open, so it's only a matter of time when somebody's going to. Maybe not, but most likely, very likely. If she's dangerous neighborhood, second minute she's there, she's already in danger. Criminal elements. Random car stop. Okay. So continue. Right. So in this neighborhood, sometimes you see flowers next to the lighting pole. Guess what? Somebody killed there. Somebody killed, and so there are posters they killed someone, gunned down. And I was walking to shul, and it was I don't know, maybe 5 p.m. or something. And then when I was walking back, maybe 5:40 or something, the whole police activity. Then I saw posters, right? The posters, somebody was killed. Yeah, a younger fellow, maybe 20-something years old. Yeah, dangerous. Okay. So next question. Correct question about hitchhiker. Just one second. Is it? Okay. Correct question about hitchhiker and Yichud. Okay. If it is not an urgent situation, potential life risk or life risk, not urgent situation, would it be better for us to offer hitchhiker Uber ride? Yes. Would it be better to pay for the expenses and avoid problems with the Yichud? I would say yes. Yeah, just get your Uber. It's since there is an ID exactly, they know exactly who is coming, who is not coming. So people would not risk their livelihood, right? And not only livelihood, they're going to catch him in 3 seconds. Okay, because they don't know who sat in the car. It's not like car source. So car source is still alive and well, right? And I have a car source not too far from me. It's because they are much cheaper than Uber. Guess what? Uber is not cheaper. It's not cheap. It's very expensive actually. Okay, but with car source, you don't know who is your driver. Of course, it's possible to find out, but it's totally different. Okay, Jewish business owner. Okay, so there's continuation. Thank you, Karav. Please correct me my understanding. Since the business is one entity, if there is a partnership between a Jew and non-Jew, do we consider the business Jewish and thus render the prohibition of Ribbis? Yeah, since it's a biblical prohibition, so it's like one entity. It's not a Jew, but a Jew is going to benefit. So of course there is a way some people use it for leniency. What I mean. For example, they want to be open on Shabbos, right? Barber shop, something, right? So two owners, and the Jews are going to say, you Steve, you get this Shabbos, right? Saturday, even Friday in Saturday. So completely, it's yours, your money. I have nothing to do with that, and I'm going to take Sunday and some other days. Yeah, you understand? So it is possible. But if they buy merchandise, they do not divide like that. You understand? When for example, this Reuben buys merchandise, so he buys for a company using the company money, shared money. So meaning right. So even the tiniest interest is absolutely forbidden. So and here is half of it is going to be interest. Okay. Okay, so next question. Last question about, okay. When reading Torah, I noticed that most prominent leaders of which generation is not the firstborn. Yitzchak, Yaakov, Yosef, Moshe, David. Okay. I wonder why is it the case? It's really just... again, when reading Torah, I noticed that most prominent leaders of each generation is not the firstborn. Yitzchak, Yitzchak is firstborn of his mother, Sarah. So in some sense, he's the firstborn. Firstborn is counted by mother, not by the father, right? It says firstborn opening the womb. Okay, Yaakov. Okay, Yaakov, not Moshe, not David, not. Wonder if why is this the case? So I think I am going to answer what we learned yesterday from Michtav Meliyahu, Rabbi Dessler Zatzal. So Rabbi Dessler told us that if you look at the Torah, there is always Torah tells us stories only about great individuals, great they who had like a spiritual height and intellectual height. Right, and some people decided to go other way, but not because they have any lackings, but because they're choices. So Torah did not talk about idiots and slow people, because how it's going to apply to us? We're not going to learn anything from them, right? So the Torah teaches us that it's because of our choices. Right, people get great, not because they were born like firstborn or secondborn, or with some special talents, right? So it's about everybody, like the Yitzchak, right? Yaakov also, right? Joseph was close to the end, was born, but they made them great, not because of position as a firstborn, but position because they want to be close to HaShem. Right? All of these were lovers of HaShem who wanted to get closer and closer. That's the answer. So right. So people say, no, if I live in this neighborhood, if I have only this money, I have only more time to learn Torah. I have only this. I have only that. I have father like this, mother like that, a brother like all my older brother. All these things. So it's so the Torah tells us it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. You can build up yourself to whatever you want. Right. So, but very very interesting observation. Okay, so next question. I have a question about modesty. Okay, I wonder, is it proper for a woman to fall asleep when travel with her husband? There is when the two of them are driving together, and when on a long distance flight. Okay. Since technically there is a chance that the other man do see her when she is asleep, could it be immodest? Okay, so let's try to understand the question again. Question about modesty. Wonder if it's proper for a woman to fall asleep when traveling with her husband, for example, when two of them driving together. When two of them driving together, there is no immodesty. I guess she's in a car, she's sleeping. Okay. When they're on a long distance flight. Okay, this like in a plane is it's a different story. But even if she's asleep, if she looks dressed modestly, so does not take any pose like a different just sitting in her chair, there is no problem whatsoever, right? So technically, there is a chance that other men can see her. I mean, sleep. I don't think it is modest. Everybody sleep there. I mean, it does not change anything that everybody sleep there. But I don't think it's a problem. Okay. So usually people when you go to a bathroom in a plane in the middle of the night, so you see how people sleep. They all open their mouths, very, very funny. So it's far away from orthodoxy. Okay. So next question. Wherever a person has many strong inclinations toward the several aveiros, which he acted upon for many years before doing teshuvah. Okay, and he needs a great amount of the Torah to counter these inclinations. Okay, would this be a good reason for him to consider becoming full-time Talmid Chacham if having a regular life makes him feel that he may fall any time because of not studying enough Torah? Dealing with inclinations while feeling once about to fall every time is very exhausting. Okay, so let's try to understand. So again, we're not going to go into extreme. So most of the people cannot become the full-time Torah learner. Okay, so almost guaranteed, because it's a hara would allow a person exactly 1.5 day, maybe 1.5 day, and that's it. So it's not so simple. It's a very tedious job, and if a person is not used to, many people, they cannot read books like a 1 page and that's a half a page, and people let's say it's too much, all right? Especially if there are no pictures there, forget it. So let's see. A person has many strong inclinations toward the several arayos, which he acted upon many years before doing teshuvah, and they need a great amount of Torah to counter these inclinations. So I mean, we have this class on Monday about working our character, and Rambam Zatzal gave us very secret formula, very secret, but very straightforward. So he said, do again and repeat. So that's the formula. So you have to identify these shortcomings one by one. Don't try to change yourself all at once. It's not going to work. It's not because I don't believe in any of you, but because I know myself. So, but try to concentrate on one. So, sometimes I have days that very down. I cannot finish anything. So I concentrate on finish the tiniest project, wherever, just answer with somebody question, something, because the person can get in the depression. I know myself. Right, so nothing working out, nothing. You cannot finish anything because this issue, that issue, nothing. So, but as Rambam said, you take one character trait and try to develop. And the most important, actually, very similar. It was said in commentary. Right, it was not Rambam, but it was commentary on Rambam. I'm not sure whose wording it is. I don't remember. Maybe it's for translator, but he got it from somewhere. And he said this consistency is more important. Do it once, do it again, and repeat. Continue doing it, right? It's even important to doing a lot and many times. You understand? So as we said, don't try to be big hero, because this big hero is going to last 1 day. Maybe not even that. So not a lot, not as often, but consistency. Do and do again, and this is going to change our character. So right, and if you take one bad character trait in time and try to work it, and be serious, analyze it. Take a piece of paper and a notebook or something better than a notebook, and try to write down. I have this issue. I admit I have this issue. and what is the obstacles when I think to going back if I had this issue before, and why, and I just try to analyze and try to write it down, and then create yourself these fences and repeat again, get these fences again. And Rambam said like it's only a matter of time, and we compare what we said in chapter 4 and Shmona Parakim. I mean, it's very similar ideas, right? So this action are going to change our personality, and after some time, so you're going to be like what's personality of the person? What is the character? Like how a person would react spontaneously, right? Without thinking, without anything. So it becomes our nature. So if you continue, repeat, so you don't have different opinion. That's the only way of reaction that you have. And that's the way. So I mean, again, there are many people who learn a lot of Torah. Did they change it? Absolutely not. They're the same rotten people. But they have no information. Some of them, and plus it's not so easy to feel to learn the whole day, right? So it's possible to work and still change yourself. Okay, so I think that it's more practical. Okay. Okay, so technically speaking, Joseph was firstborn from the mother. Yes, correct. Joseph was firstborn from the mother, but Joseph was made the firstborn over all of the brothers. That's the thing, right? So he was not born as a firstborn, but Yaakov put him in as firstborn instead of Reuben. He assigned him. Okay, so it was a deserved firstborn. Okay, so next question, Shalom Aleichem. Thank you for the shiur. Question in regards to the sin, the degradation of the wicked. That's our yesterday topic, right? Or the punishment of the wicked. How can we breach this thinking? We say a mitzvah to stone someone proven guilty. Okay, so I'm going to read again. Question. In regard to the sin degradation of the wicked, okay, or the punishment of the wicked, how can we breach this thinking with, say, the mitzvah of stone someone proven guilty? I mean, so when we used to have a Sanhedrin, right, and when the temple was standing, and when we were allowed to execute somebody, and let's say there were two witnesses, they were proven that this beyond any doubt, no circumstantial evidence, right, is accepted in Jewish court that this person is guilty, and guess what? Who would execute him, this stoning? These two witnesses, right? It's not like a separate person that is hired to kill somebody for money. No, it was actually these two witnesses. They would push him from the 2-story, 3-story building. It says 2-story, but I think it's the height. I don't remember what exactly the heights in Amos. That doesn't matter. So so they were the first two who execute. Understand? So and this this would stop many false witnesses. So on one hand, like if you only need to call anonymously that this guy is guilty and hang up, or write a letter anonymous, and they would take him to the prison and execute. That's one thing, right? But another thing, when you have to testify, look at his face, right? Look at the face to all of the judges, and then at the last step, you have to push him from the cliff. That's a big one. So these people were terrified. They were terrified to do that. It's before that we were talking about all of these cases, personal witness of the punishment of the wicked. So, but to execute somebody, for a normal person, it's a terrifying experience. But we had no choice. It is one of the ways to stop these people. Even they swear that they're going to say only truth, even though even, and they were warned with the judges, so the judges had to warn the whole procedure. If you're not going to tell the truth, Hashem is going to punish you. It's going to send this curse, that curse, all of these curses, right? And even even after that, they would make this judges, witnesses, to be the first push the person. Of course, they did not push him hard enough, right? A person did not die. They would the whole other people, these people and other people would kill them, finish killing him, but still, right? So it was very, very dramatizing experience. Okay. And plus, as we said, we had no choice. We had no choice because in all other cases they would do it voluntarily. When we explained yesterday about Lot's wife, right, and other people. Okay. So continuation on this question. A woman fallen asleep in a plane. Okay, thank you, Kudrav. In these cases, should she cover the body with a blanket or cover her face with a hat? I guess that covering the body with a blanket would be absolutely the most preferable. Face, I don't know. Some people put a mask, so sleeping mask might also help, right? So continue. Could I ask a question about midas? Okay. No, I apologize. I skipped one. I apologize. If we did something to someone in a previous incarnation, okay, and this person reincarnates in our same lifetime, will this same person come to make us pay for what we did to them? So again, we're going to read the question. If we did something to someone in a previous incarnation, right, something wrong, I guess, and this person reincarnates in our lifetime, will this same person come and make us pay for what we did to them? So it's actually, it depends if they actually forgave us or not. So if they forgave us and they here on this incarnation for some other reason, yeah, we have nothing to do with it. But if they were insisting to get this money back or to avenge themselves, yes, so that's the story. So technically, when people are suffering, yeah, they say, yeah, it's innocent bystanders, innocent, but they're not innocent. So all of us are not so innocent. If I'm talking about including myself, of course, if we all of us would be so innocent, we would not be here. We would be with Rabbi Akiva learning Torah. But since we were not so innocent, and still we did not correct everything that we had to correct, we're still here. Right? If we would correct, HaShem would take us together with Rav Chaim Kanievsky. That's all. So, but we're still here. There is things to correct. Understand? When suffering coming up on a person, there is a reason. As Al Talmud says, the person is not going to prick his finger with a needle, like when sewing, and unless it was a stamp in a heavenly court that the person deserved the suffering. So to say there's innocent bystanders or stuff like that, so it's stupidity at best. I mean, it's not. It's ignorance. People say out of ignorance, right? So in this case, the bottom line, it's the same. If he demands to get this back, yeah, he's going to get it back. But if a person is going to get it back as an evil person, right, and he causes us to suffer, so he's going to be punished again. So that's why we always say that when you read the bedtime Shema, be as sincere as possible. I forgive. It doesn't matter what they did to me. It does not make any difference. I forgive them all. HaShem is going to take care of them. He's very experienced in running this world, measure for measure. Let him take care. But me personally, I don't want to come here. Right, HaShem. Right, who needs that? How I'm going to benefit from that person suffering? Right, and maybe I'm going to do something wrong, taking advantage of that person. So that's why it's proper to forgive them. Okay. Okay, so let's see the next question. A question about midas. I wonder what would be considered an extreme level of sympathy and compassionate, or compassion. Okay, that would be a bad midah. Extreme. Since it is common for a woman to be more soft-hearted, emotional, and sympathetic, does it make a difference between a woman and a man? Okay, so let's read again, try to understand. Question about midas. I wonder what would be considered extreme level of sympathy and compassionate. So sympathy and to be compassionate, it's actually one of the attributes of HaShem, right? So it cannot be bad. So right, would it be bad midah? It's not. It's not, because it's attributes of HaShem for sure, right? Since it's common for a woman to be more soft-hearted, emotionally, and sympathetic, does it make a difference between men and women? So if she's sympathetic and compassionate to the, I mean, we can be compassionate, like even if somebody is suffering, right? I mean, somebody is even this. Okay, go step back. We just spoke about this these witnesses to being actually executioners, right? This person, whatever he did, he's deserving the death penalty for whatever he did. It was proven. So even in this case, we have to be compassionate to the person, and we're going to ask him to do teshuvah, right, before he's being stoned, right? Because why? Because we want this person to have a lama ba, and this execution to be like a kapara for him, like atonement. Like if person does not do teshuvah, it's the biggest stupidity in his life. He already did avera. That's proven. That's bad enough. But he can have a chance to have some forgiveness with his death. You understand? So, but if he did not do teshuvah before his death, he's a not smart person, to say the least. Right, and we beg him, right? We ask him, beg him to do teshuvah for his own benefit. Is he criminal? Absolutely. He's deserved to his death? Absolutely. And plus, before the execution, after he did teshuvah, if we give him very strong wine, right? This undiluted wine. So what is the undiluted? So as we learned in our class Halachos of brachas, we said undiluted is 1 to 6. I think in the kosher kitchen also, right? It's original, like wine, very strong. 1 to 6, 6 parts water, 1 part wine is still considered to be wine. Can you imagine? So today wine is diluted many times. Whatever we buy in the store, right? But 6 to 1 is still not. So they gave him this undiluted wine to drink. So meaning he would get drunk and he would not feel the pain. Of course, like he would be a little brave, like when they push him off the cliff, right? And right. So do we have to execute him? 100%. Right? Do we feel bad for him? 100%. Right? And do we feel compassionate? We gave him drink so he would not suffer so much. Right? But still, we have to do what we have to do. So if a person is compassionate and in the right place, and even as we said here, in a criminal, that he has to be punished. We don't have to get happy and be. I mean. On one hand, it's good that HaShem is reading this world from all of these criminals, but have to be nice to him, right? But in some cases, when a person is compassionate to the wrong party, for example, he's compassionate with to the murderer, right? And so when you're compassionate to the murderer, you're very cruel to his family, right? So like his family is suffering, so it's absolutely wrong. We had this clip some time ago. I think we call let's forget. Let's forget everything. And then we said how does it make sense? Some people said no, don't worry, please don't. wrong. Please, let's forget. Let's start from the beginning. An example that they gave, right? The person comes to the funeral, or the funeral like a shiva call of this the family that he killed. Said, look, I'm such a good mood today. Like let's forget all this mourning. Like I did wrong, but of course you should forgive me. So, like you normal. What forget? You understand? So we have to be like compassionate to the right people in the right time, right? And what's the difference between men and women? I mean, I don't think it should be any difference. So I mean, for women, as it says, it's much easier. For men, it's not so easy to be soft-hearted, but still we have to train ourselves, because HaShem said, as the Rambam said, this middle path is actually Hashem's way. So that's like it's not Midas Hasidus. Midas Hasidus is not expected of us, but it's middle path is a proper path to be holy, to follow the way of Hashem. So if I'm man and I don't feel this compassion, right? So meaning what? That's another assignment to work on myself, right? To be close to Hashem. And as a commentary said, it's Halachah. It's not like a suggestion to be Hasid. Absolutely not. Whatever we learn on this Monday class, it's Halachah. Right? And Rambam just explained how to get to that point. Okay, so next question. Rabbi, if someone has a witness, but did not want to report because he did not want to stone the man, whom he would he be wicked? Okay. Also, what if witnesses are men and Rasha is a woman? Okay. So it's a very good question. So let's read it again. If someone was witness and did not want to report, so first of all, it's not one witness. We need two witnesses always. So if he's a one witness, he's not allowed to report, because it's Loshen Hara, and they're not allowed to believe him. But let's say there are two witnesses, that's what I think the person meant. There are two witnesses, and one of them does not want to report. So it's one of the 613 commandments to step forward and be a witness. So he's in violation of this commandment. I think he's going to get a lot of curses because of that, because Hashem said that. Justice you have to pursue, meaning that the justice it's very important to Hashem. So when person does not want to take a day off or something from his work and be a witness, so guess what? He's perverting justice, right? So he's not a hero, he's not this, he's not that, he's actually opposite. So yes, he's deserving a lot of curses, right? Second question: what if witnesses are men and Rasha is a woman? I don't think what is the problem with a woman. I don't know. Maybe they didn't touch her when they push her. So technically, I mean, with her, when they execute men, so that there is no clothing. They just have this some clothing to cover his private parts. Why is that? It's because the less clothing. So again, we're going from the middle of compassion. The faster the person is going to die, right? But with a woman, yeah, there is more clothing because of the modesty, right? Yeah, so we're trying to still execute her as soon as fast as possible. Did they touch her when they push her? I'm not sure. Maybe they push her with something else, with a stick or something. I don't know. So here is a continuation of the question about previous incarnations. Okay, so here's a continuation. So if we wrong someone in the past life, and this person wrong us back in the next incarnation, okay, does it mean that the person won't get punished for wronging us this time, since he was simply doing the justice for what he did? We did for him previously to the. No, it's not. Does not mean that. So let's see it again. We explain. So if we wrong someone in a past life, and this person wronged us back. So we did something wrong when we wronged him in the last time, and he did something wrong because he did not forgive us. Right, one of the 613 commandments that we're not allowed to hold a grudge. Period. It's forbidden. It's not like a recommendation. And if you don't have a grudge against anybody, you're going to live longer and happier life and less stress. No, it's actually forbidden by the Torah, same as eating pig. Understand? Eating pig, you ate one piece and that's it, one aware. But a person who grudge and like thinking about revenge, like constantly, so it's doing aware every second of his life. Right? That's how bad it is. Right? So let's say this person will want to avenge himself in another incarnation. Did he have a right to do so? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He had no right to hurt us. Okay, but HaShem allowed him, and again, it was a free choice. Right? So is he going to be punished for that? 100%. Right. Thank you very much for posting. That's the clip. So next one. Based in a concept of HaShem sometimes tests someone as a pot seller who smashes his pots in order to show their quality to the potential customers. Who would be the customer in this case? The Satan, those who try to put the person down to down. Okay, so just to remind us, it's a parable from the Medrash Rabbah, when HaShem wants to test somebody, and he's like a potter who smashes only like with a hammer only strong vessels, because why? They're not going to break. So, and it says why would he, if he knows that they're not going to break, why smashing? Right? Well, you have nothing else to do. But it says no, he's smashing in front of the customer to show them how good the vessel is. Because I'm so confident I can take a hammer and strike it, right? So the question is, who is the customer in our life, right? HaShem send us all this suffering, right? Who is the customer? Who we're trying to prove anything? And our sages explain. So the customer is actually people around. So when this person, a righteous person, is suffering. So first of all, it's one thing that they got scared. So if he's suffering, so needless to say me, and he's in my opinion, he's like an angel, and I'm like below the Asaph, right? I'm like a Balaam. So needless to say, I'm going to suffer, right? Hashem is, Hashem did not forgive him, for sure he's not going to forgive me, right? So it's one thing, and another to show people. So despite all this suffering, this person stay connected to Hashem 100%, because right, and this is inspire other people to go to do the same, right? So that continue, persevere, and know it's all from Hashem. He said it's all from Hashem. It's His other Father in heaven. So if somebody who never suffered tells you this, is you read so many books, so you have so many fairy tales, but right, fairy tales. But if somebody who is going in the middle of suffering and says Hashem is doing, and I love him even more because he cares about me, that suffering is very good. So it's going to inspire other people to do teshuvah, right? Of course, maybe they are most likely not going to be on that level, but still, it's going to be good inspiration for others. So despite anything, despite it's easy to be religious when everything is going well for you. You have house, you have a job, you have money, you have a beautiful wife, kids. Like everybody is listening to you, and kids never say no. Like a wife always agrees with you. Like a never argument, like ideal situation. Right, it's very easy to be religious, but it's not so easy when suddenly you don't have a job, you don't have an income, and the wife said no many times, and kids say I better live by my friend who is a father like that. Even they right, they're not right, but who cares? And you understand? So you try to be religious, and like a doctor said, are you serious? You should have come to me three years ago. I could have helped you, but now okay. What can we do? The time is gone, so let's try to see what we can save, Understand? So you hear all of this. So I try to be religious in that situation. Not so easy, right? But it's the best proof that HaShem. So as HaShem, I know that you are the potter. You know that that I can withstand the blow, and it's good for me, right? To show my shine, even to prove to myself that I can withstand, right? So that's the thing. Okay, so let's do like maybe. Okay, so another question. What should someone do if people from his community think that he's arrogant because he guardians speech by not engaging in rampant chatter with them, despite being overly kind with them when they interaction? So okay, so let's see this question again. What should someone do if people from his community think that he's arrogant because he guarded his speech and not engaged in random chatter with them, despite being overly kind with them when the interaction? So I think it's only a matter of time, right? So people think that somebody is arrogant because they're not like them. All right, so I guess give them some time, behave the same way, and they're going to get used, and they're not going to notice it. Like in my show, nobody noticed me. Okay. So yeah, so I mean, some people they never invite me to go to the kiddush. They used to. Some they know I'm not going to come. That's it. Okay, well, what they say about it behind my back, I don't know. But I think some people cool down. So how come I invite you person? Okay, I said you invite me in person, and thank you very much. Okay, conversation on the street. But I usually don't go. I have my family comes. I need to learn Torah. I need to sleep a little. So for them, I mean, some people don't learn at all, right? They go into Rabbi Shiur, I don't know, for 25 minutes. He gives class. Okay, for them it's learning of the Torah. For me, it's not. I sleep maybe 1 hour tops, an hour, 15 minutes in the summer. And then I have to get up until the mincha. I learn Torah non-stop, right? Because that's the only opportunity for me to I mean, I unfortunately should have do more, but that's when I read the parsha. And of course, I just caught up not too long ago with the parsha of the week, right? But I'm still almost one book away from completion from last year. I still have that's from last year. I'm still on the book of Dvarim, so I'm reading from this current parsha, trying to understand and try to complete. I just started. I did just the quarter of the book. A little less, so 20% of the book from book of Dvarim. So do I have time to stand with them to discuss Trump is going to win or not going to win? They shoot to kill, not all the who has this time? You understand? And when you project yourself like this and try to be truly a true person, so HaShem is going to divert the attention to something else. After sometimes they're going to be you're going to be like a fixture on the wall. They're not going to pay attention to it. Which is good, right? Not to attract attention. But at the same time, we try not to create Hil Hashem, so you have to balance. But when you're trying to do good, and not in everybody's face, and not to be shown off, so they're going to forget. Okay. So last question. Okay, so let's do that last question, Mister. So I have a question about suggesting shidduch. I wonder when it is good timing to suggest shidduch. Okay, if we believe that two individuals are very good match, given their hashkafa, personality and preference, okay, but they are not in the process of conversion, okay, should we suggest this shidduch? Okay, how do we know if this would be a suitable time for them to be in shidduch? Of course, we would consult with Rav regarding details, and such a proposal may be appropriate. Okay, sorry, apologize. So let's try to do it again and explain. Question about suggestion shidduch. So the suggestion is shidduch. So I would say like a general. So you don't have to be expert and like you no, not expert, expert. You don't have to be prophet and know for sure this is going to work. So guess what? In all of these cases that I thought it's going to for sure going to work, the person like said, huh? Like I discussed with my wife and she said, absolutely, you must do it, you must do it. And the person said, huh? No, not real, no, that's it, right? So I mean, unfortunately. So and other times when I said, look, most likely it's not going to work, but they're the same age, like a similar age, the similar this and that. Okay, like what I'm going to lose? I'm just and then those are work like. So I mean, we cannot decide for other people, but if you see you personally see similarity in right ashkafa especially, so there is like the stage in life, age, like interest, like preference, plus minus the same. Of course, they cannot be exactly the same, right? So that then you have to suggest, you have to do a status. They can decide whatever they decide, but they're not going to even speak for 1 second or even like consider each other. But it's their business, right? I wonder when it is good timing to suggest the shidduch. Okay, so whenever you find out that there is a possibility, okay, that's a good timing. If you plus you contemplate it, like a little deeper inside, take your personal preference aside, like I did. Well, what I said, it's like what happened to me. Exactly. So what I said, like to myself and consulted with my wife, should work 100%, did not work at all. Zero. Right. Okay. So because I put myself in the both positions, in her position and his position. Okay. All right. If we believe the two individuals are very good match, right, given their hashkafa, personality and preference, but if but they are in the process of conversion. So as we said, there is no problem if they like very strong in the process of conversion. And even if something happened and one of them is going to decide not to go, like there is a possibility. What possibility? I don't know, 7.5% possibility. I don't know. I'm just saying, right? And the other side is so strong. They say, okay, you don't convert, you out. I'm in. That's it. So then there is no problem. They can try. Should we suggest a shidduch? I think yes. How do we know that? But if she's going to do it because of him or he because of her, that's the problem, right? But if they are strong on their own, like from different directions going, no problem. How do we know that it would be suitable time for them to do shidduch? So we do not know. As I said, we do not know. You suggest, and they should decide themselves. Of course, we would consult with Rav regarding details in such a proposal, right? But technically, I think if there is several similarities, like if you mind in your mind that this should work, yeah, you should introduce them, right? Okay, so very nice. Thank you very much for your questions. Very interesting. Baruch HaShem. So we completed the whole week. Did overtime. We did even Mechtam Eliyahu, my favorite book. Cannot get enough of this book, and even going through the same like material 3 times or 7 times. Still mind blowing. I think like this book, this person is not out of this world. He lived not long ago. This piece that we studied yesterday was written, I think, in 1953 or something. Right? Not long ago. Okay, so thank you very much. I wish everybody good Shabbos, and please join us next week. I'm going to let you know maybe 5 minutes early, which is good. Early is always good. Right? Good night. Thank you.